Thanks so much for joining me on the Listen Up Girl podcast. Before I start today's news, I just wanted to ask if you could please go to the description of this podcast and click on the audience survey link. This survey link takes less than 10 minutes, and it helps me get to know my audience, to get your thoughts on this show and my other show, Everything and Anything and a Bit Gay. Thanks so much for taking the time to do it. But on the podcast today, I'm going to dive into the stories shaping LGBTQ plus news, politics, culture, and community. I'm your host, Zach Randles-Friedman, and today's lineup brings everything from TV drama discourse and family holiday moments to political backlash, shocking acts of vandalism, and alarming new data on hate crimes. So let's get into it. Our first story is Heated Rivalry. Showrunner defends actors' privacy. The hit series Heated Rivalry has become a breakout sensation across the queer social media, praised for its bold, intimate scenes and undeniable chemistry between the stars Connor Story and Hudson Williams. But the popularity fans have begun speculating about the actors' real-life sexualities, something the showrunner Jacob Tierney says it's not up for discussion. Speaking to Extra, Tierney pushed back strongly on the notion that queer roles require queer actors to disclose their private identities. He emphasized not only is it inappropriate to ask those questions during casting, it's actually against the law. Tierney explained that what matters in the actor's enthusiasm, professionalism, and willingness to do the work, not their personal lives. His comments reignite a long-running conversation about authentic representation, privacy, and boundaries between on-screen portrayals and real-life identities. Next, Russell Tovey reflects on life, love, and fatherhood. As Russell Tovey prepares for the premiere of his new TV series, The War Between the Land and the Sea, fans are revisiting one of the most candid interviews. In 2018, cover story Russell Tovey opened up about navigating dating as a gay man in the spotlight, the joys of pressure of working on the West End, and the deep desire to become a father. The actor spoke about balancing vulnerability with ambition and how his queer identity shaped both his personal and professional life. With his new series launching today, Tovey's reflection offer a thoughtful reminder of his long, evolving connection to queer storytelling and visibility. Next stories, we go to Chasten Buttigieg shares sweet holiday family moments. Chasten Buttigieg, husband of the former U.S. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg, warms hearts online this week by posting a charming holiday photos of their children Gus and Penelope decorating the family Christmas tree. One shot shows Gus perched on his dad's shoulders as he carefully places the star on top. Though fans aren't quite sure whether it's Chasten or Pete holding him, another shows Penelope stretching as far as her tiny arms allow to place an ornament on the tree, with snowy Michigan visible outside the window. Chasten captioned the post, "One of my most favorite nights of the year," offering a wholesome moment of queer family representation at a time LGBTQ families continue to face public scrutiny across the country. Next story is Miss Rachel makes it clear everyone is welcome. Beloved early childhood educator and YouTube icon Miss Rachel, known for her gentle voice and massive preschooler fan base, delivered a powerful message this week on Instagram. Everyone is welcome in her classroom. Rachel specifically named trans, gay, and non-binary people as well as individuals of all religions, political beliefs, immigration statuses, and in a pointed and humorous finish, people who hate me. Her message comes amid rising attacks against inclusive educators. Rachel's joyful affirmation reminds families everywhere that kindness and acceptance aren't political, they are foundational. I love Miss Rachel. I don't even know who she is, but I like her. I like what she is saying out there to the world. Next, HHS deadnamed Admiral Rachel Levine an official portrait. A deeply troubling development at the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services has sparked outrage across the LGBTQ+ community. During the recent federal shutdown, HHS officials removed Admiral Rachel Levine's legal name from her official portrait, replacing it with her dead name beneath the protective glass frame normally reserved for permanent displays. NPR reported this alteration, noting that Levine's portrait hangs among the past leaders of the U.S. Public Health Service on the 7th floor of the HHS headquarters. The move appears to directly violate shutdown restrictions which limit staff to emergency-related duties. According to critics, this went far beyond a procedural update into an intentional political cruelty. Advocates emphasize Levine's years of service fighting HIV, addressing mental health crises, and strengthening public health responses. Her supporters say the attack is part of a pettiness and bigotry now shaping federal decision-making under current leadership. Our next story is school board president appears on anti-LGBTQ+ podcast. In Arizona, Peoria Unified School District President Heather Rooks is facing backlash after appearing on a far-right podcast that openly describes same-sex marriage as an abomination against God. During the interview, Rooks pushed false claims about groomers and public schools and implied LGBTQ+ teachers should suppress any reference to their identity. She urged parents to vote for conservative school board candidates to protect their children, echoing rhetoric widely condemned as discriminatory. The podcast host, Tiffany Benson, is known in far-right circles for attacking equity programs, LGBTQ+ people, and advocating for Christian nationalist education models. Her Substack has published pieces calling queer people unnatural, and some Arizona schools have already adopted curricula aligned to her ideology. Local LGBTQ families say Rooks' appearance and contribute to hostile, unsafe climate for queer youth and educators. Next, Girl Scouts Rainbow Memorial Bridge vandalized. A Girl Scout troop in Reno, Nevada built a colorful rainbow bridge as a memorial for pets who have passed away, meant to be peaceful space for grief and reflection. But shortly after its unveiling, vandals poured white paint across the rainbow-striped wooden planks. While the bridge was not intended as an LGBTQ+ symbol, many locals had joked that the bigots would likely be offended by simply rainbow colors. The grim prediction proved true as community members now suspect anti-LGBTQ motives. The vandalism has devastated the young Girl Scouts who created the project, but city residents say that they will help restore and stand behind the troops' message of love and remembrance. Our next story is the Trump administration memo targets trans prisoner protections. A leaked memo reveals that Trump administration is moving to roll back key protections for incarcerated transgender people who experience sexual assault. The proposed changes dismantle parts of the 2012 Obama-era Prison Rape Elimination Act standards that require facilities to screen trans and intersex prisoners for risks and consider gender identity in assault investigations. Under the changes, investigators would be prevented from noting whether attacks were motivated by a prisoner's gender identity, a step advocates warn will dramatically increase violence and reduce accountability. Civil rights organizations say the policy change puts already vulnerable prisoners in even greater danger and contradicts international human rights norms. Our next story is Biden condemns GOP for weaponizing LGBTQ+ identity. Former President Joe Biden delivered a pointed message to LGBTQ+ Victory Institute's annual conference, accusing Republicans of turning LGBTQ+ identities into a political football. Biden defended his long-standing support for LGBTQ rights, despite acknowledging he evolved over the years, and emphasized the urgent need for dignity, decency, and equal opportunity for transgender Americans. The Institute recognized Biden for assembling what it calls the most LGBTQ+ inclusive administration in U.S. history, with roughly 15% of appointees identifying as LGBTQ+. His remarks come as anti-trans policies escalate nationwide and political leaders debate how identity issues may have shaped recent elections. And our final story is anti-LGBTQ plus hate crimes hit record high in Los Angeles. New data shows deeply alarming rates of hate-motivated violence in Los Angeles, one of the nation's most LGBTQ-affirming cities. According to a 2024 report on hate crimes, LA County saw 1,355 reported incidents last year, including record-high crimes targeting Black, Jewish, Latino, LGBTQ+, Middle Eastern, Muslim, and other communities. For transgender people, the data is devastating. 102 anti-trans hate crimes were reported, 95% of them violent. That's the highest number since tracking began in 1980. Non-binary individuals also saw a staggering 275% increase in reported crimes. Officials say the county is strengthening partnerships across schools, community groups, and survivor organizations, and emphasizing that safety and support are fundamental rights for all Los Angeles residents. And that's a wrap for today's episode of the Listen Up Girl podcast. If these stories matter to you, make sure you follow up and subscribe and share the show with someone who needs to hear it. Stay informed, stay safe, and stay unapologetically you. I'm Zach Randles-Friedman, and thanks for listening. And I'll see you next time with more LGBTQ+ news.